So, I had a guy the other day I was talking to. He was like, so, you're a PS3 fan. So basically you're a Sony fan, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so you don't like Xbox? I said, no, not really, not at all. He said, okay, so you don't really like Microsoft. I'm like, oh, if you want to put it that way, sure. And then he said, well, what about Nintendo? I'm like, well, I grew up with an NES as a kid. Does that count? He's like, I guess. Is that all? I'm like, well, I had a Wii at one point, but I sold it. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate Nintendo. I don't really know much about Nintendo. And unfortunately, I don't really know anybody who's that smart at Nintendo or any of their abilities.
And speaking of Nintendo...
How did you get in my video? I didn't invite you. So...
How did I get here? I guess that's a fair question. See, I have this thing called Nintendar. I can sense, deep in my brain, when anyone is talking about Nintendo. And then, of course, I use my alien magic to hijack their videos and enlighten them about my opinions that are obviously correct about all things Nintendo.
Well, fair enough. And I'm guessing that could be kind of helpful, just to kind of express what the future of Nintendo would be, since the Wii U is kind of dying down from what I've heard. And maybe you know a few things about the new handheld consoles. Like, I've never played the 3DS or any of that, so I don't really know anything about that. Wait, hold on. First of all, who are you anyways?
Well, don't tell me you don't know who I am. I'm Sam. Sam Lilly from my channel. I got those, laid back conversational video game reviews called Real Person Reviews. The observational comedy show, What's the Deal with Sam? I mean, clearly you've heard of that, right? Or I've got the ASMR videos. I got a lot of views on those ASMR videos. I even do original music. Is any of this ringing a bell? Is any of it? Any of it?
Well, now that I think about it, I may have heard of What's the Deal with Sam at least one or two times before. But overall, unfortunately, not really.
Well, you may not know me, but of course, I know you. William? William. And I am here to enlighten you as to what I think about Nintendo's future plans, or what I want for Nintendo's future plans. Whatever the fuck the title is supposed to be, I'm going to talk about that.
Oh boy, this is going to be quite interesting. Okay, Sam. What do you have to tell me, or tell the audience, whoever's watching, about the future of Nintendo?
Alright, so the whole topic here was something about, generally the kind of the future of Nintendo, the near future here, what they're going to do and what I'd like to see Nintendo do. And I guess, there's a lot of stuff going around at this point, especially about the idea of the NX. Really, that's about most that we know that's been confirmed, is that they have stopped the production of the Wii U, or I don't know if they have stopped at this point, or if they're still just going to, but the Wii U production is about to stop.
Yeah, I never owned a Wii U. It was in my future to get one because they got a lot of cool games out there I want to try. There's a few Mario games, and I definitely want to play Zombie U, even though they ported it for this current gen, which is stupid. Anyways, sorry. Continue.
It's halting, which means it's still going to be out there for the ones they've already made, but the production is done. And that means that they're probably going to be doing a new thing soon here. And then there's a whole thing with the NX coming, right? And I guess really all we really know then is that the NX is the prospective name of their next system. And then there's a lot of rumors going around about stuff like, is it going to be, that's their next console, or is it going to be like this console handheld hybrid? And, I guess I can understand that, because I guess they hinted about that or something, kind of mentioned wanting to do stuff like that. But, it's also kind of compounded with the fact that they are stopping the Wii U, production already, so the NX is probably coming up soon. They're probably going to want to start producing those, or they're close to doing that or something, I guess. And the fact that we really haven't had a new handheld system yet, because the handhelds usually kind of stagger between the main systems. And, it was between the Wii and the Wii U, we had the 3DS, was in the middle of them.
I never really could get into handheld gaming systems. I have played an original Game Boy when I was younger, and I do own a Game Boy Advance, which I actually enjoy playing games on it because it's also backwards compatible, so that's good. Anyways, continue.
And of course, we had 3DS, 3DS XL, 2DS, 2DS XL, new 3DS, and the new 3DS XL, which is close to being a new system. It has a better processor. It has a few extra buttons and control things on it. It's bigger, better screen and everything. But it's not really being supported like a new system is the thing. It's still basically being supported as an enhanced 3DS, right?
I've never understood why companies would want to do that. Hey, we got this handheld system. Oh, we're going to upgrade it just a tad, give it a new name, and make it seem like something better if you don't own the original.
So I don't really think that that's where they're going with it. I don't think that I don't think that's their new system, because they're just not supporting it that way. They're putting on a few games that are exclusive to it, a few eShop things that are exclusive to it. Other than those few things, it's really just kind of a fancier 3DS for people who didn't get one yet. And that's why, if the NX is going to be coming out, their console, and they're not going to have a handheld come out, before it, to be between the Wii U and the NX, then that means that it could be that whole console hybrid thing, console handheld hybrid. But we don't know that, so I don't really want to necessarily assume that, but I guess you kind of be perspective about that. Honestly, I don't care if they do that or not. The other thing they talked about, you hear this rumor a lot, is that there's going to be no more, it's going to be mostly digital. There's not going to be a whole lot of physical copies of stuff.
Yeah, I was talking to an old friend of mine about that at one point, that he said in the future that either the PS5 or the PS6 or any of the future consoles and possibly handheld consoles, the discs would be digital. And he also said something about them being small like chips, but I don't think we'd get that technical.
Which isn't necessarily terrible. I would prefer to have physical copies of things because it's easier to, buy it, and if you don't like it, you can trade it back in, and sell it, whatever. You can have a physical copy to bring it to someone's, especially if it's for the console part, you bring it to, someone's house and let's play this because you have the system and I have the system. There's no need to bring my entire system over there just to play that, and that kind of thing. But I guess if it is going to be the hybrid thing, then I guess it would make sense to have digital ones so that, if it's digital copies, you can just play it on either one. I don't know if they're going to release the handheld and console, pieces or whatever at the same time, if those are going to be two separate pieces that connect to each other, kind of like the devices do now, but more specifically designed to be part of each other. I don't really know how any of that's going to work, if they decide to do that, or if they're just going to have a regular console and a regular handheld and keep doing that so they have connectivity between them. But what I would like to see, at least for as far as a lot of that, is that I would like to see stuff like, if they do have the connectivity, at least, either the hybrid or not, they should have connectivity with it so that, for instance, if you buy a game, like a virtual console game that's obviously can run on either the system or the console or the handheld, or an indie game that's the same, things that are basically going to be the same on either device should just count as a cross-platform buy. If you have both platforms, they're both connected to the same account, you should be able to get them on both. So, Like you shouldn't have to buy 2 different versions for each one. I guess unless there's some kind of special features and there's a reason for it, but even then, they should probably just make them try to be more the same. I don't know. Especially for Virtual Console ones, there's not going to be a world of difference between the two. Just make them the same at the very least. I'd also like to see that carry over as well. Would be a nice thing. Or if you got a Virtual Console game, and stuff like or an indie game that's available, that can be played on the next system without any real changes necessarily to make it so it's unique to that system, which is especially the case for Virtual Console games. If they're going to do that, make it so that you don't have to buy them again once you get another system. Make it so they're tied to the account, not the system. So, like, if I have this stuff, like, on my 3DS or on my Wii U, I don't have a Wii U, but for example, you have it on your Wii U, then you buy the NX, and those just carry over to that, too, and you already have them there. So you have a base for them. I also hope the NX is still backwards compatible. If they try to make it more digital, maybe that won't be a thing.
I don't really know how Nintendo works, but hopefully they're not like Sony with their PS4, and hopefully they do make it backwards compatible. And if not, Nintendo, and I'm probably going to regret saying this, take notes from Microsoft. That's why I'm so aimed to getting the Xbox One, mostly for backwards compatible. Though, there's going to be a new PS4 that's supposed to be better. So, crossing all my fingers, which I can't cross these two for some reason. They won't. Oh, there we go. Crossing all my fingers that the new PS4 will be backwards compatible, because this, to me, and I hope this don't sound greedy, to me, this is Sony's last chance at making me want a PS4. Anyways, we're talking about Nintendo. So, sorry, continue.
But I would really like to see them keep doing the backwards compatibility with it, to have so you can play Wii U games on the NX, possibly even Wii games, depending on how the tech works with that. I don't necessarily understand how it all works, but that would be nice, rather than abandoning everything. So that's something to think about. There's also the idea of, I guess, the multiplayer thing for online multiplayer. I'd like to see that still stay a free thing. I'd like to see them not shut down the Wii U's multiplayer and the 3DS's multiplayer so prematurely like they did with the Wii and the DS to push you to buy the next systems. I hope they would leave that open a little bit longer. Would be nice for them to do, I think. Especially if there's backwards compatibility and stuff, and those games will be alive, whatever, leave that stuff up. I would hope they do that. And also, because of the online thing, I would hope that if this whole thing goes through, which I think we're still kind of sitting around waiting, like, what's happening with that? With the cross-platform between, like, right now they're talking about, like, PS4 and Xbox One connecting to each other and connecting to PC gamers as well, which would all be cool. Like, just do that. Get the Nintendo in on that too. Like, obviously you might have to have some limitations with the Nintendo version because they're kind of touchy about that, or if there are games that are going to be, the system's powerful enough to play more modern games like that, the same games have to be released on all platforms, then you could also have the cross-platform multiplayer and not really have it be as much of an issue, I don't think. So I think that would just be cool to have them jump in and be part of the times with that, along with the free thing, but that's also, that might clash, I don't know, the free online and have it cross-platform stuff too, I'm not sure, but that would be nice to see. I'd also like to see generally better third-party support, which they've been trying to do. They've really been trying to get back with their third-party support. They haven't been doing a great job at it. I think their biggest strive that I saw was, Hyrule Warriors, which was letting someone else use the Zelda IP. And it's like, that's cool, that's neat, but the game looks neat, but that's it. Like, that's like one company, and I think they've done like 2 games now. Because I know they did a 3DS one recently. I don't know if it was the same company that worked on it or not, same team, whatever. But that whole thing, that was kind of weird, but it was okay. And of course, I want to see stuff, in general. Like, I'm not really that worried. I like Nintendo. I think they make some good decisions. They make some weird decisions and some dumb decisions, but they mostly make some pretty good decisions, and they generally respect. They care about the product they're putting out, and I think that they do have a good level of respect for the consumer. They're not trying to screw us over. I think they're mostly concerned about trying to give us a good, they're good games, and that's good. I like that. It's something that not all the other companies are like, how do we milk money? And I feel like Nintendo cares more about, like, how do we make a good product so people keep buying our games and everything. I I don't know. I would like to see stuff like, obviously I want to see another Zelda game, and I want to see, another Mario game, more Pokemon and everything. But wouldn't it be cool if they do like the whole integration thing with this? Which would be like, if they do another Smash Bros. Game, they're probably going to do one of those, right? If they're going to do another Smash Bros. Game, I'd like to see, like, if it's the same thing here, if it's going to be on both console and handheld, I'd like to see it be a cross-platform purchase anyways, I think. Which I know they'd be different games, technically, because they have to work a little differently for the systems, but especially if it's a hybrid, then it should definitely just be like, you get it, and like, there'd be like less features on the handheld version you take around with you, but all the stuff would still, the stats and everything would track with each other, you could connect it like that, and it would just be one purchase rather than splitting it into two different ones that are pretty similar as far as the core gameplay goes. Anything that you would get on the handheld for the hybrid should also just automatically be able to be transferred onto the console version if it's supposed to be connected like that. I think that would be a good thing to do. Maybe the Pokemon thing could do like a connection thing where it's a little more interesting. Like the handheld part plays like it would a normal Pokemon game, but then you can play like extra stuff on the console part where it's like, oh, now you can play that same game here, but you can also like on the TV. But then you can also play like Pokemon Stadium type events in these new Pokemon games. That would be kind of a cool way to connect them like that. And maybe have the standalones for those too. I don't know. That would be kind of neat. So it's just kind of like connecting the information, the files and stuff. That would be kind of a cool connection thing to go with it. I don't know how it's going to work, if they're going to keep the dual screen thing, the touchscreen thing going on, how that's going to factor into it either. If like the gamepad is essentially going to become the handheld, I'm not sure. That's stuff that's still up in the air. It's really too early to speculate much about that, but if they were going to do that, these are some ideas they could do. But yeah, I'd like another Zelda game, another Mario game, another Smash Bros, more Pokemon would be great. And like...
Well, I read somewhere that there was... It's been a long time, so I can't exactly remember if they were talking about it being a port, a touch-up, or a remake of Mario 64 for the Wii U. So... if that happens, I'm pretty sure fans of the original Mario 64 will want to jump in on that. So, yeah, continue.
And a lot of the franchises too, like more Star Fox would be good. They might do more of that. I would love to see another 2D Metroid. That's what I'd like to see. Not necessarily another 3D Metroid, but another 2D Metroid would be really good. Also try to maybe get a Zelda game up more closer to the launch of the NX or somewhere not at the fucking ass end of it like they're kind of doing with the Wii U a bit, because I don't know how long they're going to support the Wii U with new titles either. Probably for a little while, but, I don't know. But, like, that's the thing where, like, anyway, like Metroid. I'd like to see another 2D Metroid game. Those are really fun. That would be cool. Maybe just remake Super Metroid if you feel like you have to, but, like, just get another 2D Metroid in there would be really fun. I would enjoy the shit out of that. The Metroidvania goodness. 2D action, adventure, RPG elements, maybe not, maybe just more like the other ones, whatever. Those would be cool. I would like to see another Mario game that's more like Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy games. Those are cool. I like those. I like running around in these 3D environments and collecting stuff, the kind of collect-a-thon-y type platforming stuff. And, Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World were okay. They seemed alright. It's just that they felt more like New Super Mario Bros. With 3D Mario. It's still a timer, and it feels like the levels are really linear, not really so much you got to explore that much, and I don't know, it felt like not as good. And also that, plus those two games, plus the New Super Mario Bros. Series in general, feel a little stale, where it's like, okay, like, it's like they boiled it down, like, Mario is just, is, Mario and Luigi, you got green pipes, red bricks, Koopas, Goombas, Bowser, mushrooms, all that shit, you know Mario, and they just kind of left it there. And it was cool when the first New Super Mario Bros. Came along, because it was, New Super Mario Bros. Cool. Like, it's just bringing it back to basics, bringing back the Mario Bros., and it's also, putting in this nice, pretty package. And New Super Mario Bros. Wii, okay, it's console version. And then New Super Mario Bros. 2, like, okay, we kind of already had this, though. And the New Super Mario Bros. U, like, okay, we kind of had this as well. And it's just, at this point, it's like, I don't really want another New Super Mario Bros. Like that. I want them to, if they're going to keep going with the New Super Mario Bros. Series, make something more different, be a little more adventurous, because, they're fun. They're fun to do, but like keeping them in the same package like that is kind of annoying. Also, I'd like to see a handheld version of, speaking of Mario, I mean, do those, maybe that could be cross-platform maybe too. Maybe do like a 3D Mario kind of adventure thing, like those other, 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, those kind of things, for the handheld. Either for the 3DS, or for, whatever the new handheld's gonna be. And, I would love that. Also, a Super Mario Maker for either it's backwards compatible, not an issue, but maybe another Super Mario Maker, or like a Super Mario Maker like handheld version would be really cool. Which I think a cool idea for that would be to just make it so it's like, okay, it's kind of a similar thing. You'll still have the new Super Mario Bros. Layout, you'll still have the original Mario Bros. Layout, but then instead of having like Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3 thrown in there, you'll get Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2 thrown in. That would be kind of a neat little thing, so it makes it a little more unique for the handheld. And maybe it has to be a little more strapped down, maybe that's a thing, but like, just kind of make that be a fun thing to have a handheld, and have like some kind of version of it, because people can do a lot of stuff with, a lot with a little, and it's pretty interesting, so I think that would be a cool idea as well. I mean, I don't know, like, maybe bring back some other IPs, bring back, do another, I don't think they've done I don't remember if they did another F-Zero game yet or not, and if they haven't, they probably should by now, do another F-Zero game. I don't think they've had one since the GameCube, I want to say, so maybe I don't really care, I've never really played any, but I played, like, one, so, like, I don't really care, but I think they should maybe bring that back, especially if they're going to keep featuring Captain Falcon, Smash Bros. And stuff, I don't know, like, that better indie game support, and third-party support, and, keep paying attention to the games you're putting out, keep doing some new interesting stuff with your old IPs, like Super Mario Maker, getting a new IP of Splatoon, Pokken Tournament's a pretty interesting idea, keep doing these clever ideas like that. I'd like to see another 2D Legend of Zelda, I guess 2.5D maybe, whatever, like A Link Between Worlds, something like that, maybe remake the first Zelda in that engine or something, or make it totally in 3D. Just seeing more like 2D styled Zelda for the gameplay and stuff would be cool. Rather than just keeping to all the 3D ones, would be neat. Because Link Between Worlds was awesome, so more of that would be great.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. That would be pretty neat, and I actually, in general, like to see that too. I mean, like I said, I don't hate Nintendo at all. I have nothing against Nintendo. They've never made me mad or give me any reason to hate them. But yeah, and Sam, I hate to interrupt you again, but this video is getting kind of long, so we're gonna have to wrap it up very, very soon.
Wow, I rambled about this a lot longer than I thought. I mean, that's off the top of my head, that's pretty much most of the stuff I guess I would expect from Nintendo, what I'd like to see them do. Because, again, like, I don't know what they're planning on doing with that stuff. I'd like to see them keep physical format. I don't care if it's a hybrid thing, or if it is just a separate handheld and a separate console. And if they are keeping them separate, they're probably either going to have, like, I don't know, like, if they're making a hybrid, it's going to be like, it's going to be a normal console release and a late handheld release, or it's going to be, like a normal handheld release. Like, if they push it out really fast, it's going to be like a normal handheld release and an early console release. I don't think they're going to push it back too much later, so I don't know. I just hope they don't try to, like, screw people over with, like, pushing you ahead too fast, like, cutting off support for the previous systems too quickly, and, abandoning that stuff way too early into its life cycle, because the Wii U picked up kind of late. The 3DS has been going strong anyway, so they don't really need to push this ahead like that, I don't think, but maybe they feel like they do, so I don't know. Another Mario Kart's gonna come, and there's gonna be the main Nintendo stuff you like, and Nintendo's gonna still put out the games you want to play if you liked other Nintendo games, and it's gonna keep doing that. And I guess ultimately, I hope Nintendo doesn't just fall into this pit of like, okay, let's just do DLC shit, let's just see if we can find ways to gouge people's money, let's see if we can just focus on a bunch of shitty mobile apps and stuff, and let's just, I hope they stay focused and stay, looking at, let's make great games, let's try to make some new interesting games in there too, let's try to do some new and innovative things with our technology, at this point, they've caught up so much with the tech too, it's like, I mean, like, I'm not even that worried about it, like, how it's going to look or perform either, and I guess, if you want to. I don't think they need to. And to cut prices, definitely don't bother with it. But like having a DVD thing in there or any of the other entertainment system-y stuff, I mean, cut that out if you have to. Because really, I want a gaming system. I have a computer for stuff. I have a DVD player. I don't really need all of that to necessarily function through the Wii U. Don't focus too much on those extra features, and just keep doing what you're doing, because that's why we love Nintendo.
I'd have to say that was quite a lot, Sam. So, I kind of learned a lot more about Nintendo that I didn't know. And I'm pretty sure everybody who watched this has learned a lot too. So, I guess that's all. Are you leaving now? Or are you just going to vanish, shut up in air? Or whatever you did before?
Well, I think that's about all I have to say about that. Probably good timing too, because my alien magic is getting a little weak. Probably have to go, space meditate for a while to recharge that. But don't worry. My nerdly sensors are ever active, and I will be back to share my objectively correct opinions about Nintendo again.
If you say so, Sam, I'm gonna just hit the escape button and say goodbye to you.
You haven't seen the last of me, Whalem. Fuck!
Well, that was quite interesting, and yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and sorry if this video was longer than any video I've done in a very long time. Actually, I learned a lot thanks to Sam and his evil brainwaves of alien magic. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. If you like Nintendo, tell me why in the comments below. I'm kind of curious. But for the love of all that's good, don't leave a book down there. Don't leave a book. Because, yeah, I do read all the comments that I get on my channel. I read them all, whether they're hate or like. And if they're respondable, I will respond to them. There have been a few that have either don't make any sense or I just can't respond to them. So, yeah, there's that. Anyways, I'd like to give a shout out to Sam for helping me with this crossover. Yes, this was my first crossover, but it definitely won't be the last. So check out Sam's channel below. Also, I would like to give a shout out to a new guy I met. He does some movie reviews that I actually enjoy too. He does movie updates. He does miniature films with his friends, and if you've never heard of him, he's Movie Buff One. Check him out as well. He's a really nice guy. I actually really enjoy his reviews. He goes into detail with yada yada yada, and he may end up on my WTH is this YouTuber in the future. There is a strong possibility about that. Also, head on over there to see the new episode of WTH is this YouTuber. And also leave a comment there telling me which YouTubers you think I should review next. Anyways, thanks for watching, and this video is long enough. So, goodbye, and have a great day. And always remember, never to go to the beach when you have ice on your feet. Because sand and ice don't really mix. No, wait, that's salt. Anyways, goodbye.